Welcome to Local Point, your life, your stories, with your host, David Gale.
Hello and welcome to Local Point. I'm your host, David Gale, and joining me today in the VTV6 studio is CJ Davis and Derek Hopper, who are here to discuss the upcoming business development seminar. I am assuming that it is happening in Vernal.
It is.
Okay, good. The upcoming business development seminar happening in Vernal. Okay, I got to admit, I haven't even heard of this. Derek, maybe you could help me out here a little bit. What's happening?
Well, this is actually the fourth seminar.
Okay.
We try to do them quarterly through the chamber, and the focus is, of course, to help businesses and their owners improve their skills and improve the skills of their employees,
Okay.
and put them in a mindset where they can offer great customer service and try to rise to the occasion to get people into their store and shop with them more and more.
Okay, so once a quarter we've been doing this. When is this one happening?
This one is happening next Thursday, March 9th from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Okay.
We provide a little breakfast as well as, of course, come for the seminar.
Nice.
So that way, we know luncheons are very difficult for people,
Sure.
so it's right during business hours, so we're trying to do that. And it is located at?
It's actually going to be at the UBATC building in room 140.
Ah, yes.
And it's kind of, this is very timely that we're able to meet with you, David, so we appreciate the opportunity.
Sure.
Because people actually have to come prepared. What we're doing is we're doing a Myers-Briggs, I believe it's called Myers-Briggs.
Myers-Briggs.
Myers.
So
pardon
what
me.
it is it's something I took at USC once just for a business seminar.
Okay.
It's a personality assessment test. So a lot of different companies are using the personality assessments for, of course, hiring and kind of saying, what's your personality type and what's somebody else's personality type and how can you manage that person? Because obviously not all of us are the same, and we're saying, why aren't you doing it like I'm doing? But of course, this is a good way to key in on that and say, okay, maybe they have a little bit different learning style or a little different personality. So how can I work with that? Because, with Myers-Briggs, they're saying, not every two personalities are alike, but of course, you can understand what someone else is actually doing or feeling. And then, of course, you can tailor a little bit of your program or your business to their needs. So.
Sorry, go ahead, Derek.
Well, and I was just going to add, and that was really the focus that we wanted to. A lot of business owners or businesses, how can I effectively communicate, or how can I effectively manage?
Right.
And so the board really felt like this is a good opportunity for business owners or managers to, if they can understand their personality traits better, then they can perhaps better communicate with others or understand other personality traits. And so that can help that, because sometimes there are struggles
Sure.
with communication between managers and their teams. And so this is an effort to mitigate that and to kind of make those communications a little more smooth.
How many different personality types are there?
There's 16. There's 4 main quadrants.
Okay.
So there's pretty much 4. They give you 4 kind of characteristics,
Okay.
and they actually find that I think it's something like 60 or 70% of one personality type is actually in one of these quadrants.
Okay.
And so that's the majority of people. They're kind of the outgoing people, but then there's of course the very reserved people, but that might be able to fake being outgoing. So that's where they kind of tweak just a little bit. But obviously, I mean, people are different. People adapt differently. So very similar to different generations. But of course, you know how old someone is, so you kind of have an idea what they're thinking generationally, but not, of course, personality.
Okay. And so this course, this seminar is going to teach managers, teach business people an idea of maybe who they are
Correct.
to start with,
Yeah.
as well as to be able to identify maybe the people that they work with as well. And then is there also with that some sort of help in communication? Once you know what your personalities are, what happens next? Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, pardon me.
Yeah, of
So
course.
what will happen is, and again, that's, timely, we need people to register sooner rather than later, because they actually need to take the personality assessment online.
Okay.
And it needs to be completed by next Monday. So
And
there's
that
not
is
obviously a lot of time.
The 6th.
Correct.
Monday,
correct.
March 6th.
March
Okay.
6th. Thank you very much. And so we only have, I think, maybe another 20 to 25 spots left.
Okay.
Because there is a limited number of people that can participate. But the exciting part of this is by taking this test in advance, then we're actually going to have a person there that will help analyze the results and explain to each of those, what those personality traits mean. And so how they can better understand again, and then take their personality traits, and then apply them in the workplace and work more effectively with others.
And we would have loved to have a limited number of people come to this, but of course it's a $50 test, and Vernal Chamber of Commerce obviously is helping subsidize some of those. So that's why we're about $20
So you need to
is
make
what
sure
the
you
fee is.
register. Get
Correct.
in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when we come back after the break, we're going to tell you where you can go to register, where you can go to take the test, how you can get a hold of these guys, find out a little bit more about yourself. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
The Vernal Area Chamber wants to add your business in our network. Create change with various committees. Participate in community events and have a strong business resource behind your company's goals. Learn more at vernalchamber.org.
Welcome back to Local Point. Before the break, we were talking about an upcoming seminar that's going to be happening at the UPATC campus in Vernal, talking for business-minded people. Yeah, who exactly comes to these things?
Well, really, I think just about anyone can come and can benefit to an individual independent business owner, because you still have to understand and relate to your customers. And then, of course, mid-level managers to upper management, and even individual employees. My sales staff, they're out there all the time dealing with individuals. They really need to understand who they are, so that they can better relate and deal with people.
Right.
So I think anyone can benefit.
And the cost involved in this, is there a cost, and what is that?
So there is a cost. It's normally $50 for this test. So I want everyone to understand that, but we've reduced it to $20.
Oh, nice.
And we've been able to do that by partnering with UBATC.
Okay.
So the chamber is absorbing some of the costs. UBATC is working with us to provide the instructor and then also minimize those costs as well. So it's a great opportunity to get this information for $20 rather than spending the full $50.
Right, but you do have to register.
You do.
Right.
Need to register,
And you have to
absolutely,
take a
the test.
So where do we do that?
Will you do that on?
Online. And I'm going to look right here, and I'm a little, well, so what happens is when you register, the chamber will actually send you a link to where you can go online, a hyperlink, to take the test.
Because obviously it needs to be the test, the discount with the discount code and everything like that.
Right.
And not only with that, you'll get breakfast when you're receiving your results next Thursday morning, obviously the 9th. So you just need to take the test before. So I mean,
take
$20
it by Monday
for
the 6th.
Yep.
For $20, you get a breakfast, you get to take the test, you get the instruction while you're there.
And the analysis.
And the analysis, hopefully to make you more aware of who you are and how to communicate with others who are like you or not like you.
Absolutely.
All 16 of them.
Yeah. Anybody honestly can benefit from this test.
So even Sybil, I mean, you could probably,
depending on which one she was
help.
at this point in time.
Exactly.
See, I caught on your reference.
I know you
And
did.
actually,
I knew you would.
to be honest, when I was taking this test at USC just 3 or 4 years ago in the group, it was I'm almost saying I need to take this with my wife, because then I'll be able to communicate with her better.
Oh my goodness, what
and
a good
actually,
idea.
It's actually fantastic. So I think she's taken it, and communication skills got a little better.
That's great. And unfortunately, you've only got so many seats, but you do have these things quarterly. So what's going to be happening coming up later in the year then?
So the next step, and we haven't nailed down a date yet, but we're pretty excited. We are currently talking with Zions Bank and trying to make a setup to where we can get Chris Redgrave to come out. And if people aren't familiar with who she is, she does a radio feature speaking on business, and quite a local celebrity, certainly within the state of Utah. And the focus of that is going to be on the different generational types, Gen Xers, Gen Yers, so on. And again, how to take what you're learning now,
Right.
and then really apply it to effectively communicating and working with those different generational types as
Right,
well.
because you're starting with the personality type and saying,
Exactly.
even though you may be an outgoing person, depending on which generation you are, there's also differences there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. My generation and his generation are two completely opposite-minded
Wait,
people.
what do you mean? You guys aren't this?
I don't know, man. I know the hair gives it away. So
Well,
yeah.
this is great. So again, to recap, we've got on the 9th of March is the actual event, but you need to register in enough time to take the test by the 6th of March. And I don't remember, did we find out where we go? We register with the chamber?
So you can register with the chamber.
Okay.
That's really the best thing to do. Just contact either Joel or Marilyn, and I don't remember the other woman's name.
I'm not sure, but it's just at the Vernal City
Yeah,
Chamber
just at the
office.
Vernal Chamber offices, and they can hook you up on everything. Certainly, you can call me. I'd be more than happy to help any way I can down at the paper.
Sure.
You can probably call CJ or anybody
Davis
else.
Food and Drug. And I think we're 50% 50% full right now.
We're almost 50% full.
And there's only 50 seats, so I mean, it shows how quickly it's been filling up. So.
Yeah, for sure. Now, we've only got about a minute left, but I'm just curious overall how these seminars are going from their inception to now and what you guys see for the future.
Well, I mean, this will be our 4th seminar, and it's every one of these has been kind of on a different topic, and we're seeing the goal is to not necessarily segment one area or one industry, but try to be a broad industry where we can, where if it's the mining industry or of course the tourism or retail industry, can all actually come and benefit from this in different ways. We don't expect everyone to show up to every single one, but obviously you just pick and choose which ones will benefit your company.
Well, and the other point is we're really trying to come up with ways to help as many different types of companies and individuals.
Right.
So we're certainly open to suggestions and feedback.
Okay.
And after each event, we ask for feedback. And so if anyone sees this show and has some ideas or would like to share, contact the chamber, talk to Joel
Okay.
or Marilyn or any of us, and we would be more than happy to take that into account and see what we can do to meet those needs.
That's great. It's an awesome event, and thank you guys for putting it on in your groups. And of course, thank you all for joining us here on VTV for Local Point. Stay tuned for this week's community calendar. We'll see you next time.
The Vernal Area Chamber wants to add your business in our network. Create change with various committees. Participate in community events and have a strong business resource behind your company's goals. Learn more at vernalchamber.org.
Welcome, my friends, to another episode of Community Calendar, brought to you by the Vernal Area Chamber of Commerce, building commerce one member at a time. Hey, a couple things for you. Number one, you may have noticed, look what we have. Graphics, they're back. Number two, look what I'm wearing. You know what this is? Brand new sweater vest, just for you. Isn't it lovely? Sorry, Stevie. Okay, let's get on to this weekend schedule. Friday, March 3rd, Uinta High School Theater. They are presenting, oh my goodness, I'm so excited for this, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Now, if you've been to any of their shows, you know, award-winning. Chris Piner, the director, Barbara Piner, choreographer, costuming, that kind of stuff. Amazing shows they put on. You're not going to want to miss this. It runs March 3rd and 4th, and the, does that say 6th? 5th? No, 5th and 6th. The prompter's a little further away than I'm used to. 9th, 10th, and 11th. And this is the first year of reserved seating. You're going to want to get yours at uintahigh.net, because usually you can come in early and get the seats right up front. Nuh-uh. not this time. It's going to be so popular, it might get sold out. It's going to be sold out some nights for sure. Maybe all the nights. UNAHigh.net. Go get your tickets. Also, make sure that you say a student that told you about those tickets in there. I think they get some sort of credit for that. The show starts each night at 7 o'clock, and there's a pre-show, actually, performance at the door opening at 6:30 p.m. Don't miss it. Saturday, March 4th, the Dr. Seuss Brunch happening at Roosevelt Library at 11 a.m. They're going to have stories and crafts, and you can come dressed as your favorite Dr. Seuss character. I think that there's going to be a prize. If you listen to last week's community calendar, you learned that my favorite Dr. Seuss character is Gerald McBoing Boing, but I didn't tell you what my favorite Dr. Seuss group is. It's Hoop Soup Snoop Group. Say that 12 times fast. Hoop Snoop Soup Group. Contact the Roosevelt Library for more info. Looking into next week now, March 6th through the 12th. Graphics, we love them. On Monday, March 6th, you got the VITA, or VITA. It stands for Volunteer Income Tax Assistance. If you make $54,000 or less, you can get free tax assistance at the Uinta County Library. You just have to make sure that you call and set up an appointment first. So call 1-888-826-9790. Oh, right there. It's right there. You can push pause. There it is. Tuesday, March 7th now, there's a CPR instructor course. This isn't a CPR course, it's a CPR instructor course from 6 to 9 p.m. at the UBMC Education Center in Roosevelt. Course is dedicated to instructors who want to work with Uinta Basin Medical Center. And to learn more, you can contact Vaughn Johnson at 435-722-6125. Thursday now, March 9th, is a business development seminar. It runs from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. at the UBATC room 140 in Vernal. It's going to be $20 per person. They're discussing how colleagues and employees can see things differently using the Myers-Briggs Indicator Assessment, which I'm sure is super effective. Contact Vernal Chamber of Commerce for more information on that. Now let's get into our weekend weather. Hasn't it been nice and warm outside? Snow's all melting, but not too fast. We don't want flooding to occur. Weekend lows, you can see, well, actually you can't see, but just trust me, they average in the mid-20s. Starting a low of 20 and climbing to 26. The highs here, you see Friday we've got 36 degrees climbing up to 45 degrees on Sunday. Sunday is going to feel like summertime, or at least kind of spring-ish, maybe. Looking into next week now at your weather. Continuing to heat up starting Monday of next week. 36 degrees is our high. And then it just keeps getting warmer and warmer and warmer and warmer up into the weekend. 50 degrees. Oh, my goodness. We finally did it. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. We made it into the 50s, which for us feels like the 80s. If I brought my mom here from Arizona, she'd be wearing a parka. Anyway. Those are your events and your weather for this week's community calendar. If you've got an event coming up, let us know. 435-781-1902. Leave us a comment. Thanks for watching. Like VTV6 on Facebook, and we'll see you next time. Oh, tell me how you like my new sweater vest.